happy Tuesday. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So for today's talk, we are going to talk about how to exercise without going to the gym. And this was a really common question that I get all the time, and especially with COVID where people are at home, gyms are closed. I'm in California and the gyms are still currently closed, even though we can actually do group exercise outside. So I'm going to kind of walk you through kind of some things that you guys can do, where you should start. So again, I'm a big proponent of being smart, being safe, and then definitely getting you the results that you want. So I'm Dr. Yvonne Castillo. If we haven't met before, I'm a pain-free movement specialist and doctor of physical therapy, and I specifically help women over 40 get pain-free, active, and be their unstoppable selves without having to rely on pills, potions, or procedures so that they can get back to the things and the activities they love with their family, with their kids, and traveling and so forth. So let's dive in. So first off, when you're thinking about starting to exercise, you need to know, okay, well, what are my goals? What is my intention for exercising? Are you exercising because it's, again, one of those things that you were told that you were supposed to do, that you know it's something you should do? Maybe your doctor prompted you to do that. So do you need to get started? Is it because do you have a certain weight loss goal? Is it something that you have a specific thing, like you want to tone up, that you want to get more upper body strength, lower body strength? Are you trying to improve your cardiovascular capacity? Is it something like you want more energy? You want to sleep better? You want to get on the floor and play with your kids? You want to run around with your kids? You want to be able to travel? Is it you want to improve your flexibility or your balance? So knowing your specific targets of what you want to achieve specifically with exercise is always a great place to start, because again, we want to be able to match up your mode and your method of exercise with the results that you want. Again, if you're wanting to tone up and you're just doing, you're just biking or you're just walking, that's not necessarily going to get you to the results that you want to see as quickly as you want to see them. And then unfortunately, the mistake that happens with that is, okay, I don't see results, this isn't working. And it's a lot harder to stay motivated or stay consistent with it. So that's definitely the first place to start, is definitely establish, well, what are your goals and what are your intentions of exercising? What is that kind of driving piece? And definitely know have that clear why that I like to talk about, just so you have, you know why you're motivated to, again, get up every day and to do the exercises that you want to do. It's great to have visuals to kind of visually see it. Again, if you want to get toned up and you want to fit back in that bathing suit or look a certain way, have that picture of that vacation that you want to take. Go and buy that bathing suit and have it, whatever it is. If it's to play with your kids, again, they're sometimes a very good visual because you see them all the time. Or if there's something specific that you want to do, run a 5K, go hiking, again, have that visual of what it is, if that end result is going to be to you. And then, so you don't necessarily have to go to the gym. You don't need those big machines or the cardio equipment and stuff like that to get the results that you need. A lot of the stuff you can do safely at home or easily just, go outdoors, and there's a lot of different things. Hi, Lynn, welcome. How are you doing today? So there's a lot of things that you can do, and you don't have to invest into really expensive equipment. That's something that sometimes hangs people up when they want to exercise, that they feel like they have to invest in this really expensive home gym, or a lot of those pieces of equipment, and they won't be able to get the same results unless they go to the gym. Everybody's a little bit different. I know there's a lot of different people where they like to go somewhere else to go work out, that they do like to go to the gym. Sometimes a lot of people just don't feel comfortable. They don't want to have to wait for the equipment or, the cleanliness factor, or just when big times are busy. So it just works out better for them to work out from home. So again, you don't need to invest in a lot of equipment, very expensive equipment. I'll kind of show you some things that I like that can help you out. And again, you have outdoors, again, weather permitting, for where you're at, that you can, nothing's stopping you from, getting outside and walking and running or going for, a hike in through there, whatever that is for you. So then another big piece to think about is when you're wanting to exercise from home is, are you someone that needs direction? Do you need accountability? Do you need someone to guide you through the exercises? Or is it something where you can have a program and you can follow along with that and you don't need that much check-in? Flying blind when it comes to exercise is not the best thing to do, especially if you're new to exercise, or you haven't done it in a while, or again, if you have that specific targeted goal, it is hard to kind of pull it out of thin air to kind of create a program for yourself, especially if you're coming from a place where you are experiencing pain and you do have pain. Trying to kind of piecemeal or puzzle a program by yourself, again, can ultimately, and I see it happen all the time, people get frustrated because they can't really pinpoint what they're doing, and sometimes they'll just write off an exercise altogether when it really just needed just a little bit of a tweak, or it needed a little bit of a modification so that they can do it with success, where they can do it and get results and having it be an enjoyable experience. So that's something where, again, I talked about this a lot in a piece that I wrote, but we're just having someone kind of take, and this is kind of my dream for everybody, where you kind of take an inventory of stock of where you're at and where you want to go. How is your current environment set up, your lifestyle demands, and where is your body right now? As I like to say, is like, what are you bringing to the table? What are you bringing to the table? What are some things that we need to acknowledge, whether they're, you do have certain aches and pains, how you're responding to certain things and how your body is currently performing, and then kind of say, okay, well, this is where we're at, and then this is where we want to go, so that we can strategically make that plan going forward. So again, not so good to kind of fly blind. I know a lot of people will go and try to find, piece together programs on YouTube, and it's just not the best thing. Again, it goes into that one size doesn't fit all. And it's really hard to know for yourself, well, how do I modify this? Especially if you try to do a certain exercise, be that maybe a squat or, a certain type of abdominal exercise, and it really, may bother your neck or lead to some numbness and tingling or cause some lower back pain. Then it's like, well, I just can't do that. I just can't do abdominal exercises. And that's not necessarily the case. Oftentimes it's just small little tweaks, but that just takes working with someone that's knows the body well and knows what to do in those scenarios, and again, having that strategic plan going forward. And then do you need accountability? Are you someone that you can just get a program and do it, that you can watch a class online and you're going to be someone that can stick with it, and you can be self-motivated to kind of, again, push play every time to show up? Again, I provide you guys with exercise, routines every Thursday. I highly recommend, going back to them, you doing them. There'll be a lot of variety, again, depending on what you guys opt in to choose to do. And again, those are some great ones to revisit again and again and to practice. And that's a great place to start. So again, do you need accountability? Simple things like having a calendar, giving yourself a gold star, and also just scheduling your exercise program and making sure that you really do carve out that time of day that works for you, that works for how you feel. You work out better in the morning, in the afternoon, midday, and then also just lifestyle as well. That's a good thing to do. But I can't stress enough to have just like a simple calendar. You can print it up, and just to kind of mark it off. Give yourself gold stars each day that you're consistent, or pencil it in and actually write that commitment time. And you'll be more successful with that. So definitely things to keep in mind, especially when you're home, because there are so many distractions that, you hear the laundry go off or something. Oh, I should go do that, versus really carving out the time when you are present and focused, and that's your time to exercise and to work out. There are a lot of online exercise programs that you can do. There's there's a lot of different varieties that you can do. And again, where you want to make sure that you're doing is that you are, again, having a balanced program that does incorporate, some sort of strengthening, some sort of balance. I touched on this yesterday, some sort of mobility and flexibility piece, as well as balance. And then again, I went a little bit in depth on this yesterday, but always looking at what does your recovery look like. You should always be able to recover from your exercise program within that day and a half. You should again be comfortable and not agitated and sleep through the night. And you should not be in pain whatsoever. If you're having or experiencing pain when you are exercise, something's amiss, something needs to be addressed. Either that the exercise isn't appropriate, it needs to be modified, it is just not currently right for your body, or you're probably not doing the exercise wrong. So again, it's just small little tweaks that need to be made, and just as an outside perspective to help you with that. And also a good thing to do is if you have when you're trying to work out from, to either have like a designated room, a designated corner, a designated time. That will definitely help you where you are more consistent with it, so that your body almost, like I say, it's always so great when you get to the point where it's like you just go on autopilot, where you're like, yes, okay, that your body just gravitates and pulls you through and craves being active and exercising, and that you have a place to go to. And again, simple things that you can do. I mean, just exercise bands are great. These are wonderful for lower body. They offer great resistance. You can invest in ankle weights are wonderful. Wrist weights are great, and that's a great way to add some resistance as well. And again, I love larger bands. I love bands. And again, I love resistance band because you actually work through both phases of the motion just doing free weights, but I do love free weights as well. And there's also this is a small Pilates ball, and there's a lot of equipment that you can use that can also assist you with doing exercise. So that Pilates ball is great, especially for someone that struggles maybe doing some abdominal work or sit up or something. It can actually support your body. There's certain props that you can do to actually support your body, and as I like to say, build that bridge or fill in the gap where you may need a little bit of support and modification. And you'll see me use these tools in the classes that I will teach. And then really importantly is before you get started with your exercise is really having a solid foundation of knowing the form of the exercise, the intention of the exercise, and then having modifications for yourself. Because again, I said, sometimes it's tiny tweaks where you may just be going a little bit too far down in your squat. You may be, or you may, with the use of a ball or a band, that it would really help out with your form. Those are, again, tiny tweaks that can make all the difference in the world to, again, get you to that end result. And then also another thing too is really important to just be present and intentional with your exercise. Oftentimes when we're trying to do a million things at once, or we're really not focused on the exercise, that's when form tends to go down. And that's when you tend to see, you're not necessarily getting the results if you're just barreling through the exercises, rushing through the exercises, doing them for the sake of just, again, ticking that box and not necessarily be intentional with it. And I like to say, a lot of the exercises and the programs that I do, as well as, my method is you use it as a litmus test. It's a litmus test for you it's a time for you to check in with your body, know differences from side to side, notice, improvements that, oh, wow, that's a little bit easier. Oh, wow, I went a little bit further. That was, just to notice those subtle changes, again, can be incredibly motivating and helping you, again, being consistent, sticking with it, even when you may not be seeing huge results, where you can start to notice those little fine improvements in through there. And that's a really important thing. So if you're not present and you're just you're moving too quickly, or you're distracted in through there, you're not really present, it's doing a disservice not only to your physical body, in the sense that you're not getting the most out of it, but also just, allowing yourself to just mentally reset, recharge, and to really have that mind-body connection is really important. And I think once you get to that point, I think it's like a very magical point when you are present in your body, and again, you carry that presence over into what you do throughout your day, going to grab the mail, to doing the cooking and all those things. When you have that sense of presence and awareness of knowing your body, maybe you notice when you're doing arm work and stuff like that, your shoulder always shrugs up, your shoulder always shrugs up, your shoulder always shrugs up. So you try with intention as you do your exercise to be mindful of that. So there is that intention, because And then when you have that awareness, again, that will go into, you know, cooking and stirring or being at your computer. If you know that's your pattern, you'll be more aware. And then as you kind of work to correct that with the exercise, it will no longer be your pattern anymore. So that's something to practice as well, is to have that intention and to be present. So I will pop in a link to the blog post that I wrote. I went through kind of all these things a little bit deeper, as well as giving some exercises and some little videos to carry you through. I'm also in the process, and I would love your guys' feedback to let me know if this is something that you're interested in. You'll hear me, and I've said this multiple times, like before you start, you need to have, as I like to say, like a firm foundation to really know, like, how the heck should I be squatting? Like, how should I do upper body exercises? Like, what are these, you know, what are kind of your foundational exercises that you should be doing? Like I say, to target and balance, you know, doing upper body, doing lower body, doing your core, doing movements that are in multiple planes. So I'm in the process of kind of building it out, building out just like a little mini series for you guys that'll be an option for you if that's something that you guys are interested in doing. So you could really break down, okay, what does it look like to have proper form with, you know, the very foundational exercises. I like to say like a meat and potatoes program that everybody should be doing to keep their body balanced and happy. So I'm in the process of doing that. I would love your guys' feedback, or if you have any questions, please drop your comments below. But I think it's so important to start with that firm foundation. Not only if you're flying solo, you're doing this you're at home, but that you would safely be able to jump into any exercise class, you know, do outdoor exercise activities, as well as, you know, doing any online course or anything like that, or any kind of online exercise video that you would know kind of what is the proper form. I guess starting with that, building from the basics is so key. And then from there, I got a couple other surprises up my sleeves again, so you guys can have something to build on top of that. So that is kind of like, that is where, you know, some things to think about and consider when you're thinking of, well, how do I exercise from home? Do I have to invest in a lot of equipment? You know, where should I start? What should kind of I be considering in a program, and what are my options? So I'll drop that link to that blog too, so you guys could check that out. And then, and that was another thing too. I kind of showed some props and some equipment. I'm also putting together like a little, a resource guide or a cheat sheet for you of all kind of like my favorite. I know, Lynn, I had given you the link to the massage ball set that you guys see in the Pain-Free Body Blueprint. Some of kind of, so you guys don't have to hunt and peck all over Amazon or whatnot, or know kind of what should be the size, or what are good exercise pieces of equipment, easy things that you can do and use at home. I'll put a resource guide together for you guys, so it'll kind of show the equipment, quick clickable link, and then you guys can choose and go from there. So that is how to exercise without going to the gym, and some couple tips in through there. Again, please, if you have any comments or questions, please just drop them below, and you can tag me and I'll see that, and I'll always come back and answer any questions that you have. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Lynn, thank you so much for jumping on. Always so great to see you again. I can't see the comments in this for some reason. I got to fix that. So I would love to hear your guys' impact and say hello back to you. So have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right, bye.